My international oil field career has been kind of all over the map. I started out in Nigeria. I would highly recommend that Nigeria not be your first assignment. It is like you're going to a different planet. Now, I'll tell you a story about that sometime, but yeah, it's like a different planet. From Nigeria, I went to Libya, spent a couple of years there in the desert. So I went from West Africa, where the demographic is black, to North Africa, where the demographic is Arab and a completely different culture. I spent a couple of years there. This is when Muammar Gaddafi was in power, and I gotta say, it's pretty peaceful. Um, it's not the same case anymore, but at the time it was pretty nice. And from there, I went to Ukraine. I spent a year in Ukraine. I remember when I landed, it was raining, so I left in August from Libya, flew direct to Ukraine. Hadn't seen rain in forever, so that was nice. Spent a year in Ukraine. I worked my way up to night tool push there, and then I went to Russia, and I spent a year in Russia as a tool pusher. And the general manager for the Russian division that I was working for was a drunk, and I hated working for him. So I quit, and I went to Canada and decided to try my hand at consulting. And I was in Canada for about a little over 3 years consulting. And then the oil tanked 2014, 2015. And basically there was no more work. So I went back overseas. So I went overseas, went to Saudi Arabia, and went as a senior tool push on a land rig there. Did that for about a year and then was laid off for a while and spent about a year looking for work. I did one hitch in Kuwait as a trainer before getting work in Oman. There was a few, short stints that I did. I did one hitch in Bangladesh. I did another one in Turkmenistan, but I don't really count those as, experience because it's so brief and I didn't really integrate into those projects. But, and then after Oman, I went back to Saudi Arabia. And it's been a pretty interesting career, to be honest. I mean, you get to go to a lot of places that you wouldn't normally see. It's allowed me to leave Canada and live internationally. I've lived in the Dominican Republic, I've lived in Bahrain, and now I live in Argentina. Just thought I'd share in case it inspires you to try an international oil career. And if you do, I wish you success. Good luck. Take care. Thanks for listening.